Hey guys, my name is Malik Laffoon. Welcome to a day in the life of a side hustler. We're here with Daniel Stevens. Dan, tell us a little bit about your side hustle and why did you get started?
Basically what I do is I resell clothes and shoes and I just sell them to consignment shops. So I started a couple months back currently with the clothes. I used to do shoes a lot, but that was back after I graduated high school because I knew a lot about shoes. I try and stick with something that I'm educated about.
Okay, so you've been doing this for quite a while. Do you have a strategy when you go into Goodwill or any of the other stores that you go into? Are you looking for a certain type of clothing? Will certain types of clothing go for more than others? What's your kind of strategy?
Yeah, me personally, I like to do my research on the stores that I'm probably going to sell it to. Usually they'll put out a list or on social media they'll comment about what they're looking for at the moment because each season things change. So in summer right now, most of them are looking for athletic clothes because those sell out faster. So they're not really going to buy like a big winter coat or something like that because nobody's going to buy that right now. So they want to stick with what they can sell right now. So I generally try and go for those things. So depending on the season right now, I'll go look for more athletic clothes. And I also go off of the quality because just because something is Nike or Adidas doesn't necessarily mean somebody's going to buy it. Because if it's too torn up, holes, tags ripped up, worn, they might not buy it. Sometimes they can, it just depends. But me personally, in order to kind of, keep that payout as high as possible, I'll just try and stick with the things that have the best quality to them. So I'll stick with usually better brands like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, things that are well known so that I have a better chance of getting a good payout.
So what's it like going into the Goodwill Outlet? Is it crazy? Is it pretty calm? What are the people like? What's kind of your experience been like?
Yeah, so the Goodwill Outlet's interesting because everything is placed in bins, so you never know what's going to be in there. It's all thrown in there and it's all been donated from either other stores or it could just be donated from someone anyways because they have, donation centers all around. And it's kind of hectic when you first go in there, but then you kind of realize there's usually a method to the madness in there. Everybody's kind of going for one thing or the other. Everybody has kind of their own process, so it looks crazy at first, but usually some days are busier than others. I usually go a couple days a week after work, so it's usually not bad. But usually when you get to a later end of the day, it usually gets pretty busy in there, and it's pretty packed, but you kind of just have to move kind of with a method.
Have you gotten any fights with any of the customers?
No fights yet. I don't think anybody's wanted to bark up that tree yet.
Alright. So you do resell to Plato's Closet. How does that process kind of work?
It's pretty easy. Plato's makes it very simple. You literally walk in with your bin or however you have to hold your items in, go to the counter, put in your phone number. If it's the first time, they usually have a couple questions for you, but if you've done it before, they just type in your number, send you a text message, you give it to them. You can pretty much leave or stay in the store, whatever you want, depending on how much stuff you have. If I have a lot of stuff, I'll probably leave the store because it might take them a while to sort through. Some days are busier than others, so you have to wait. You're put in line basically behind whoever else brought in stuff to sell as well. So I usually leave the bin in there and then they'll just send you a text message when it's sold. You go to the counter, they show you what they bought and what they didn't buy. Sometimes they could just pass on everything, but my experiences so far, they've usually bought at least a couple items from me and then they just pay you out.
What advice do you have for side hustlers that are kind of like in a rut, maybe struggling with it, trying to get into the business like you're doing? What kind of advice do you have for them?
I think the biggest thing is continue to make sure you're gonna go resell something that, if you're gonna do resell, then do something that you know about, because if you don't know what you're buying, 9 times out of 10 you might end up being stuck with stuff that nobody wants to buy because you thought it was good. Doesn't mean someone else thinks it's good. There's stuff I buy that I might not personally want, but I know someone else is gonna buy it, so I'll buy it anyways. And you have to be patient because you walk around those stores, you might not be done in 10 minutes finding everything you need. Sometimes you can go in there and find everything, but most times it's like a couple hours at least I spend each trip just looking through stuff, waiting for the bins to change, little things like that. So just staying educated, making sure you're doing things like side hustle, university, taking courses, things like that can really help you, diversify your portfolio in a sense, because you can do there's one side hustle that works for you that the other one didn't. So continue to make sure you're educated and know what works best for you. Yeah, and for me, the reselling, it's easy for me because I really enjoy it. It's something that is fun for me. It doesn't feel like a taxing little side job or something. I think that's why, you hear people saying they have hobbies and stuff. Usually it's something that takes away from, the stresses of the week. It's something that you do on your own time for fun. So if you pick a side hustle that you know a lot about and something that you enjoy doing, it makes it so much easier, and it's not really a job at all. It's just you getting really extra money because you're doing something you enjoyed. So I think that's something to keep in mind as well when you're picking a side hustle.
All right.
I really like Side Hustle University because it keeps me educated and shows me how much I should put my business at and value my efforts to be able to price the items for what they are and how much I can get for them, things that I didn't think about before watching some of these videos. I really like the course on Side Hustle about if you need to know your taxes when it comes to your side hustle, because taxes are something that, especially as a younger person, you don't necessarily think about unless you've really taken courses on it, and it makes it very easy to understand that it is an important step and kind of guides you through it so you know what you are doing in terms of taxes when it comes to your side hustle.